Today's video is really consists of two parts. The first part is me trying to visualize how my aluminum components are going to fit together. That is the bed and the cabinets, what kind of joints I'm going to have, what kind of materials I'm going to need, and maybe where I'm going to buy them. The second part of the video discusses really the feasibility of gluing these joints together. I'd really like to avoid nuts and bolts and rivets and things that stick out. It would just be so much cleaner if it would all fit together, but you know, how feasible is that? And I have an interview with a person I spoke with at Ellsworth Adhesives, who's an expert on adhesives, and we'll talk about, you know, what I'm intending to do. So I hope it's interesting and you'll stick around. All right, well, let me refresh, I guess, what I've been thinking about here. And here's the outline of the van again, and this is the bed. And this is in the night mode where it's pulled out. Okay, so I take this bed and I pull it out, and I take my table and I put it down here, and I make space here for a cabinet where I can hopefully put my feet. A lot of this stuff, like these are really tight clearances. You know, I changed the type of refrigerator that I want to get. This is the fridge. I like this winter fridge, and the reason I like it is it's a dual zone fridge with two covers. So you can open one cover to the refrigerator, you open another cover to the freezer.
Are the two covers underneath a main cover, or
no?
Two separate?
No, two separate covers.
What brand is it?
It's a winter.
Never heard of it.
And so I like that, because I like that better than the kind where you just open one cover and then you've got the freezer side on one side and you've got the refrigerator on the other side.
And you get more loss.
Right, you have more loss. And this, the point here is that this fridge is a little bit wider than what I had wanted. You know, I was looking at, you know, the depth of the cabinet here, and the depth of the water basin, and the depth of the stove business to be one amount, you know, and then this would fit right in there. But this is all going to change slightly, and it's all going to depend on the actual van, you know, because there's going to be curvature in here.
Until you actually, you know.
Yeah.
Plan as much as you can, but until you get the van and be able to put some masking tape down on the floor, and you know, something. You really can't
build anything until you got the van.
Look at how much cardboard the
humble road guy.
I mean, he tore up a lot of cardboard.
Yeah. Well,
but, I mean, you know.
Well, anyway, the point is that the more planning you do, the better. But even with the best of plans, you know, like what I'm doing or whatever. Until you have the van, you see the curves and what the actual you know, measurements are, and you really don't know. So, you know, this could all change, but you know, this could come out here and this could come out here, and maybe this cabinet is smaller now, and you know, everything is going to change based on what I actually run into. But having said that, I am resigned to the fact that I'm going to have to build. I'm not going to go down to IKEA, you know, and buy a bunch of stuff.
No.
That's not going to work.
The aluminum, I think the tubing, aluminum, and L brackets, and you know, cut them up, drill holes in them.
So let me show you where we're at with that.
You know, just kind of like, you know, some of this would be made out of wood. I would, you know, maybe the outside frames could be.
No. Well, okay. I'm planning on doing this all with
aluminum?
L-channel aluminum, yeah. This is an assembly, this part of it, and this slides out. This slides out this direction. Okay. You know. And so that's what it looks like.
So the L part of it would be just rubbing on the top of the...
The L part is just this frame here, and then this leg.
Well, what I was talking about, these struts.
No, those aren't. Those are flat.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Okay, but they're going to be they have to have some strength to them. They're not flat metal or flat aluminum.
Yeah, they're flat aluminum. It's going to be like a chaise lounge, you know, type of thing.
As long as you have support on this side, that'd be fine.
And see, there's
because they'll bend.
Well,
and then that's the point: is that if they're tube, they won't bend. So if you had 2 inches by a 1/2 inch tube, and you have strength, a flat piece of metal will just be like a flop.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was trying to get
Okay.
to you.
Well,
So
that's
I think you could use a tube there, a
Yeah.
1/2 inch by 2 inch
rectangular
tube,
tube.
or rectangular tube. Doesn't have to be thick, but,
Yeah.
but you'll need the strength.
Yeah. Well, okay. Maybe so. I'll.
Yeah, until you start really getting into looking at this stuff. But
Well, that's what I'm doing. But
well,
you know, the point here is that I want this to be lightweight, and
Right.
It's going to be a twin bed size, and I will have. You know, I have thought that there's got to be something underneath here to support the thing so that it just doesn't fall down into the bottom.
well, you're going to have cabinets underneath it.
I'm not going to have cabinets, but I'm going to have stuff. I'm going to have stuff stored underneath there.
You may have to put, you might have to put something legs on this piece that goes straight down.
I may, and that'll depend on how everything fits together.
Well, yeah, you buy your storage units, and then you put some legs. Probably going to need at least 3 legs in there. And then, as I say, your wheel well is going to be another issue.
Yeah.
Until you get it and see it.
But you look at these chaise lounges, and they've got aluminum across there, and they bend a little bit, but it's not a big deal if you've got enough of them. These are spaced 3 inches apart.
Right.
So.
That's what I'm saying is until you try it.
Yeah.
Because you're not a real heavy person, so it might not be an issue.
Yeah. But there'll be a support in the middle.
But you're going to need a support.
Yeah, there'll be a support in the middle.
Whether it's a leg that folds up, that you can, fold up.
Well, this will be a permanent leg here because this is the stationary part.
Yeah, but this end here may be a permanent leg that just follows.
Yes, it may be a leg, or it may just be rest on a cleat or something down here.
That'd be probably a good idea.
And that will depend on these other measurements.
Right.
That I've got.
And you're talking about some sort of a futon that'll make into a couch?
Well, what I'm thinking of is a cushion which is going to be broken at some point that you can slide up. It's going to be continuous on top, and then it's going to be so you'll be able to hinge it.
Right. You can use fabric to hinge it. Yeah.
Right. Use fabric to hinge it so that you can just slide it up and then slide it down.
That'll serve 2 purposes too. It'll keep the
cushions together.
Yeah. Together and clean. Yeah. And then if you want to unzip it and clean it.
Right. Well, the other thing about it is you could make your bed, and you could just fold it up with your bed made. So there's none of this.
Well, as I say, then you could put a sheet over the top of it to sit on or during the day. Whatever.
Yeah. But the point being, you don't have to. Throw the cushions around and then throw a sleeping bag on top of it, or make up the sheets every single night. You can make your bed make a nice tight bed, and then you could just fold it up.
So you'd be pulling this out when the door is open.
Maybe not, because there is room.
Can you stand next to it when you pull it out?
You can stand down here, and it's not going to be very heavy.
No.
Okay, so I'd put the table down first, and then I'd come over here, and I'd reach over, and I'd pull it out. So that would be it. And, it'd be easier to do with the door open, but the point here is that, I've got all this aluminum, and I'm trying to visualize how it's going to fit together. Now, the bed is fairly straightforward. But the cabinet is tricky because what I'm going to do is the drawers are going to slide on top of this little piece here out. Okay. So no drawer pulls or anything like that. It's just going to be the surface here. I've got L-frame in the back. Okay, for the drawer to stop up against. On the front, it has to come out, and the drawer front, when the drawer is closed, has to latch onto something. So that's what these pieces are here. All right, so
I did this, and I don't feel really comfortable with this because it's a lot of pieces.
Well, not really, but so I say this.
Well, my thought is just to have drawers, which will have drawer fronts, which will just cover the entire thing, except for the bottom.
Right.
My thought was to put magnets on the drawer face, and then in this.
Yeah, more stuff
on this point right here.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
This more.
I drew this, and then I thought, well, this looks kind of complicated, because you're going to glue all this stuff. So I'm going to play an audio of a conversation I had with the glue guy here in a minute. But it seems the different colors here are different stages of gluing. So, for example, I would glue all the yellow parts first. Okay, so that I would have 1, 2, 3, 4 sub-assemblies here, which I would glue together one day, and then the next day I would glue them all to the green parts. I'm going to have a bunch of these. I'm going to have the water cabinet and stove cabinet and the other closet.
Yeah,
but they're all going to be basically the same kind of design here with the same kind of components. Mm-hmm. So you glue all these together. So that's just a single piece, and then you come in, you glue them to these back rails. Okay, and then after that, you've got these sub-assemblies. You glue them to the connectors. All right, and I'm looking at that, and I said, yeah, well, that'll work. But it's kind of a lot of pieces. So I came up with a different idea. Okay, I'll show you the different idea. And this one is based on the assumption that I'm buying all 1-inch slabs and 1-inch L channel. Okay, but if I open up the possibility of 1/2-inch L channel also, then I can create this same kind of effect. I put in a 1/2-inch L channel here and a 1-inch L channel over here, and I've got a backing for the drawer, but I also have a place for it to slide. Mm-hmm. So I've got 1/2-inch over here to slide, plus I've got a backing.
Right, and
so
you're not looking for aesthetics anyway. It doesn't sound like it. Just more utilitarian.
No, this is not going to be a.
Right.
I've seen beautiful van builds, and that's not my intention. My intention is to be light and functional and look decent.
Right.
Okay. I'm going to make the drawers out of coroplast.
Well, as I say, you're not putting in 50-pound items in your drawers.
No. Well, even so, with the drawers, they're just going to be pulled out, and I'm going to attach like a wooden pull, which will probably extend the length of the drawer, which will be down near the bottom of the drawer. Because my thought is the sides of the drawer are not, all they're doing is keeping stuff from falling outside. Okay, there's no weight. All right. Now I don't want to put the pull up near the top of the drawer with coroplast, or it'll bend and all that other stuff.
Well, the point is, and as I say, you might be able to find containers instead of making drawers. As you buy containers that will.
Well, I doubt it. I've been looking at containers, and you can get lots of containers, but I'm going to have some weird measurements. I have a feeling. So, We'll see. But anyway, so this is all predicated on the fact that this gluing really works. Okay. So let me play for you. I don't know if you played this.
Yeah, Eric. My name is Jim Patton, and I had some questions about using acrylic adhesives to glue aluminum to aluminum.
Okay. Which one are you looking at?
I'm looking at, the Lord 406-19.
Sure, we like that one.
Okay.
We like that one. What can I tell you about it?
Well, I really don't know much about this, all right? But what I'm considering doing is building out RVs. And normally it's done with really lightweight wood, stick.
Okay.
I was wondering if this is the kind of application that, first of all, would make sense to you doing it.
and then maybe
Yes.
some of the challenges that would be associated with doing this. And I guess the challenges that I see would be that you would want to probably mock everything up using mini clamps or something. Get everything measured and placed and put together basically, and then just and prior to that, clean it and sand it and all that stuff, and then go through and my thought was to put a dollop. I'm looking at like 1 inch by 1 inch overlap joints. And then just clamp them together with mini clamps so they don't clamp too hard and not too soft. And I was just wondering if that would work, to do that.
Yeah. This is that is the kind of application where we start to suggest the 40619. That's almost identical. So yeah, I mean, this is something you could definitely test out.
Okay. Now, a couple of questions. Since I haven't worked with the cartridges or the guns before, I know that you get, like in each cartridge, you get, it looks like there are equal amounts of the base and the accelerant, so for each tube. And
yeah, that's not always in this particular product. It's a 4-to-1 ratio. So if you're looking at a picture of it on the website,
yeah,
it may be hard to see, but it is a 4-to-1 mix. So there's more in one tube than the other.
Oh, okay. So you do buy. That was my question. Is it seems like if they were equal, then you'd be, wasting 3/4 of a tube of one of them.
Right.
Yeah.
But so you've never used a dispensing cartridge like this before?
No, I haven't. No, that's the problem. So,
Okay. Well, it's very, very easy to use. And there's no training or anything you need behind it.
Right.
It's just it fits into a dispensing gun. Which are you on the website right now?
All right, I'm with you now.
So
Okay,
click
now
on that and then scroll down to the bottom of the page.
I see it. Yeah.
You see your related products.
Yeah.
The mixing gun, the third one from the left, that's the mixing gun for it. That mixing gun will come with the appropriate plunger. It comes. I apologize. It does not come with the appropriate plunger, so you need the plunger as well.
Yeah.
The 4-to-1 plunger shows as well, and then there's also the mixers.
Yeah, so I would buy.
If this is something I can. Sure, go ahead.
I would buy the gun, I would buy the plunger, and then I would buy the mixers, right?
Correct. If you'd like, I can send you it's like a 1.5-minute long video that shows you how this works.
I think I've watched it.
You have?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, so
okay.
I think I know. I was confused by the fact that the gun said 1-to-1 or 2-to-1, but then I guessed that you could put in the 4-to-1 plunger and that would convert it into a 4-to-1 gun. So for that
application. That's right. Like that picture of the gun that's shown on the website is a side profile.
Yeah.
That whole black bar that's going through the center of it, that's the plunger. So that you would yank out, put in your 4-to-1 plunger. Pull it back, put the cartridge on there, and as you pull the trigger on the gun, that plunger is pushing into the cartridge and dispensing your material through the mixer.
Okay. Yep. That's kind of what I thought. Okay. Now if you stop in the middle of a tube, basically you just take off the mixing tube and you have to basically waste whatever's in that mixing tube, but then you can start over with a new mixing tube. Is that right?
Yeah, what I would suggest is if you stop in the middle of a tube, leave the mixer on there and let it harden inside the mixer. That way it's curing inside the mixer but not inside the cartridge. So then, if you're working with it and all of a sudden you take a break, you go to lunch for an hour and a half, come back, just take the mixer off, put on a new mixer, and go right back to work. I would leave the mixer on though while you're gone.
Yeah, you don't want it to harden up inside the cartridge. Okay. Yeah.
Right. Let it harden inside the mixer so what's inside the cartridge doesn't harden.
Yeah. Okay. So since I would be working with a lot of 1 inch by 1 inch overlap joints, would you guess that what I would do is just put maybe a dollop, size of a pencil head eraser or something, there, and then clamp that? Would that work, or should I be? Yeah. Okay. So that would press out to pretty much do the job. I mean, this is not heavy duty stuff that I'm going to be trying to hold together. It's just cabinets. But this sure seems like it would be a neat system if I could get it to work. It'd be so easy. to put things together.
Yeah, and it's been used for that in the past. I mean, we've had. I mean, it's designed to replace, like it says in the description, it's designed to replace situations where you don't want to use bolts or rivets or things like that. You want a nice clean surface without that. That's what it's for.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That sounds good. I think I may try this.